Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about Canada's extending policy to give PNP candidates open work permits. Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada has extended its policy for open work permits for eligible provincial nominee program candidates. Valid until December 31, 2025, this policy allows qualified individuals to receive a 2-year OWP. Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada has extended the policy to offer open work permits to provincial nominee candidates. Under this temporary public policy, eligible foreign nationals can receive open work permits valid for up to 2 years. To be eligible, the foreign national must have a valid profile in an expression of interest pool from a participating province or territory, a support letter from the province or territory, and meet other requirements. This video will cover who can apply for an OWP under this policy, which PNPs have signed on to this public policy, and how to submit an OWP application. This temporary public policy has been extended until December 31, 2025. Who is eligible to apply for an OWP through this policy? To be eligible for a work permit under this temporary public policy, you must provide a letter of employment from your current employer, and provide a support letter from the province or territory in which you work and live. You must also fall into at least one of the following 3 situations. Situation 1, valid work permit. You currently hold a valid work permit. Situation 2, expired work permit plus applied for extension of authorization or restoration of status. You held a valid work permit as of May 7, 2024, which has since expired, and you've applied for an extension of your authorization to remain in Canada as a temporary resident, or you've applied to restore your temporary resident status. Situation 3, held maintained status plus extension application pending or approved. As of May 7, 2024, you had maintained status on account of having applied for an extension of your work permit before May 7, 2024, and that application was approved or remains pending. To date, 3 PNPs have implemented this temporary public policy and begun issuing work permit support letters. Alberta Advantage Immigration Program. Manitoba Provincial Nominee Program, and Yukon Nominee Program. Exemptions to regulations under this policy. Under this temporary public policy, if you fall into Situation 2, you may be exempted from being required to apply for restoration of temporary resident status within 90 days of having lost your temporary resident status, and/or not being eligible for a work permit on account of having worked without authorization or having failed to comply with the conditions of your work authorization. How to obtain a provincial or territorial support letter. Before you can apply for an OWP through this policy, you must receive an open work permit support letter from a PNP who has signed on to this public policy. This letter confirms that you are in an expression of interest pool under a participating PNP. Processes and conditions for receiving an OWP support letter differ from province to province, with these letters being issued at the discretion of provincial immigration authorities. This public policy applies to PNP candidates who are under consideration for nomination, not to foreign nationals who have already applied for nomination. How to apply for an OWP under this policy. If you meet all the eligibility criteria, you can follow these steps to apply for an OWP under this policy. Step 1, ensure you have the required documents. To apply online, you will need a scanner or camera to create digital copies of your documents, and a valid credit or debit card. Step 2, review the instruction guide. Before filling out the application form, you should read the instruction guide. This guide provides detailed explanations of how to complete each field on the form. Note, if you need to apply to restore your status, you must indicate this on the application form IMM 5710. Under question 3, we are applying for one or more of the following. Choose the option Restore my status as a worker. You may then provide further details on your situation in the client information section on the application page of your IRCC secure account, under optional documents. Step 3, be aware of the fees you need to pay. In most cases, the fees will include processing costs for both you and anyone included in your application. The following fees may be applicable. You will be prompted to pay these fees at the end of your application. Step 4, create or sign into an IRCC secure account online. You need an account to apply online. Through this account, you can pay needed fees, submit your application, and check your application status. Step 5, obtain the correct document checklist. After signing in or creating an IRCC secure account, you will be prompted to answer a few questions to receive a personalized document checklist. This checklist will include most of the documents that need to be uploaded. If you are using an authorized paid representative, you may have your representative apply on your behalf through the APR portal. You must declare your use of a representative. If you fail to declare your use of a representative, you risk your application being denied. When applying for an open work permit through this policy, you should answer yes to the following question when prompted. The bolded option applies to anyone applying through this public policy. Does one of the following apply to you? We are the subject of an unenforceable removal order. We for a study or work permit before entering Canada that was approved but not issued at a port of entry. We are a student in primary or secondary school or a visiting/exchange student in Canada with visitor status. We are applying for an open work permit under an active public policy or pilot program announced by IRCC. We are a student who has completed a prerequisite program of study for enrollment at a designated learning institution with visitor status in Canada. We applied for permanent residence and was found eligible, first stage approval, under one of the following categories. 1. Spouse or common law partner in Canada. 2. Humanitarian and compassionate cases. 3. Protected persons in Canada. 4. Live-in caregiver in Canada. Step 6. Complete the application forms. Once you have generated your document checklist, you must follow the on-screen instructions to fill out your application and pay the necessary fees. When completing the work permit application form, provide the following information in the details of intended work in Canada section. Box 1. What type of work permit are you applying for? Choose Open Work Permit. Box 4. Job title and brief description of duties. Enter the correct provincial code in both the job title and brief description of duties fields. Provincial and territorial codes. For Alberta, use the code ABEOI 2024. For Manitoba, use the code MBEOI 2024. For Yukon, use the code YKEOI 2024. Step 7. Upload documents. The document checklist will contain most of the documents required. Here are the additional documents you must upload in support of your OWP application. A copy of your valid passport. Family Information Form, IMM 5707. A digital photo. A support letter issued by the province or territory where you reside and work, Alberta, Manitoba, or Yukon. A copy of your current work permit, if applicable, and a letter of employment from your current employer. To meet upload requirements for the following documents, IRCC advises newcomers applying under the OWP policy to upload a page that states not applicable. Employment reference letter, employment records, and employment contract. Rationale for the temporary public policy. This temporary public policy supports the federal government's goal of reducing the number of temporary residents as a percentage of Canada's overall population, by helping to provide work status to foreign nationals attempting to transition to permanent residence through PNP programs. Benefits of an OWP. OWPs in Canada provide the flexibility for newcomers to work for most employers across most industries throughout the country. Moreover, the validity of an OWP is typically predetermined and not dependent on a specific job, unlike employer-specific work permits, which are often referred to as closed work permits. As a result, OWPs are generally more desirable to newcomers compared to closed work permits. Canada's extended OWP policy offers a valuable opportunity for PNP candidates to work flexibly while advancing toward permanent residency. Take advantage of this initiative to secure your future in Canada. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next video. Till then, take care.